Welcome to the High School Huddle. I'm Dave Morris, and this man needs no introduction. It's Ryan Aber from the Oklahoman, and it's week 2 of the playoffs. The top storyline is simple and shocking. It could be over for all the West teams in Class 6A this weekend.
Yeah, Midwest City has the best shot. They've got Owasso coming down here, but Owasso last year came down and beat an undefeated Westmore team. And the Bombers haven't had any tests from any East Side teams this year. This will be their first test. This is the time when we really get a feel for how good Midwest City is. The other ones, Westmore has to go up to Jinx. Putnam City has to go up to Tulsa Union. Obviously, those are tough.
Games, yeah.
And the other one, Norman North has to play a Muskogee team. They get them down here, but Muskogee beat them early in the season, swept them in 2 games last year, so that's far from easy.
Should be some good matchups. All right, our second storyline involves another big matchup and a couple big-name players. Guthrie plays a Shawnee team that beat 42-10 in the season opener. But there was a big factor there. The Wolves were without Tucker Brown. How big of a difference will he make?
Well, he'll certainly make a big difference, not only because he gets to be a quarterback for them, but also because Brett Davis has got to move to a wide receiver, done a very good job there. The difference is Guthrie is a different team than they were the first week. Early in the season, they were just experimenting with moving Kai Staley around to different positions. They've really done a good job with that, with Keaton Collins, their quarterback, has just performed excellently. Clayton Smith, their running back, has done a really good job too, so they're better. I look for the score to be probably about the same.
Finally, our third storyline involves the school bus. Weatherford has to travel to Broken Bow on Friday night. Ryan, should the OSSAA structure its playoffs differently for these long-distance games, for perhaps a Saturday game?
Yeah, I would like to see them get a little more flexible in the second-round games. Right now, the Friday, Saturday sites are set. Maybe you look at one and say the longest trip has to play on Saturday. They do that for scouting purposes so that people can see the teams that they're going to be playing the next week. But I definitely think there's something to look in with that, with Weatherford going all the way down to Broken Bow. Another one, Velma Alma, has to travel up to Texoma, which is never an easy place to get to, but that's a particularly long trip.
And some safety issues involved there as well. All right, we'll be right back to talk more about this week's top matchups. Hi, I'm Dave.
And I'm Angie.
And we're your News OK host and hostess.
Shouldn't we just say host? Hostess sounds a little funny.
All right, fine. We're your News OK hosts.
Well, let's tell them what we're hosting.
Lots and lots of video programming on News OK.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
We're changing the rules.
See you soon.
Welcome back to the High School Huddle. Ryan, let's break down some more of this week's big games. Let's start with Carl Albert against Bixby.
Well, Carl Albert gets probably its toughest defensive test since the Guthrie game. Bixby has got a very good defense, a pretty solid offense. They could give Carl Albert a run, but I'll look for Carl Albert to win this game by a touchdown or 2.
Class 4A, Grove at Glenpool.
Yeah, another one where both these teams haven't gotten a whole lot of challenges outside of one team in each of their districts. But I think Grove, with R.J. Bartley, the big-time linebacker that they've got, will be too much for Glenpool.
All right, Tuttle against Benita.
Well, this is a game that's hard to pick. I haven't picked it yet in my own mind for the picks in the paper, but I think Benita is going to be a little bit too tough for Tuttle. Bryce Moore's really struggled in big games running the ball, and I think that's going to be a key here.
All right, a couple 2A games. Morris at Cassia Hall and Chandler at Sequoia Tahlequah.
Cassia Hall is another one of those teams that plays in a district up there with not a whole lot of really competitive teams. They get their first really big test in Morris, and I think Morris has a really good shot to upset the number 1 team. Chandler went to Vian, won last week. They go to Tahlequah this week. That's going to be a tough game, though, for Chandler because of Nathan Stanley, the big-time quarterback for Sequoia. I think Sequoia wins that game.
Lots of big games this week. All right, should be interesting. Where are you at this week, Ryan?
I'm going to be 2 games up in the Tulsa area, the Carl Albert Bixby game. Also going to go check out Westmore again at Jinx. All
right, you can catch Ryan Aber's stories in the Oklahoman. Read his blog on newsok.com. And don't forget, the Oklahoman provides daily high school football coverage as we roll through the playoffs. Well, that's it for this week. Enjoy the football, everyone.